All right, what's up everybody? So today I'm at the Organ Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument right outside of Las Cruces, New Mexico. And this area has gotten like an insane amount of rain the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to be doing a couple of hikes today through some canyons to some areas that have seasonal waterfalls that are supposedly extremely full right now because of all the recent rainfall. It's also very green out here. It's beautiful, and yeah, just definitely looks like it's going to be an amazing couple of hikes today. These trails are all pretty easy, fairly flat. I mean, I think a little bit of elevation gain on a couple of them, but they're mostly flat and low mileage, so shouldn't be too difficult. And I'll get back to you guys a little further in. Really amazing views back here, and we're probably already getting close to the waterfall. I think it's only 1.5 miles or something, but yeah, this is pretty incredible. All right, we're going through this little abandoned ghost town thing, Boyd. Pretty cool little spot here, and the waterfall is going to be back in there somewhere, and it's just so cool back here. This is probably like the greenest I've ever seen a desert in my entire life. All right, so here's Dripping Springs. Obviously a lot more than just a little spring right now. It is really cool. Approaching this waterfall was really cool too. And this is just an awesome area back here in this little canyon with the mountains above it. Really beautiful. There's a few trails you can do here to make a little loop or whatever, but we are going to head back and then go to another trail, the Soledad Canyon loop. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. This area is just ridiculous right now. We decided to hike up a little bit from the waterfall. Here's the Boyd Sanatorium right there where they had tuberculosis patients, I guess. And there's literally a bunch of wildflowers growing, which is just crazy for this time of year in the desert. I mean, this does not feel like we're in the desert at all. But anyway, we got a tip to hike up a little further and check out like a reservoir or something. So we're gonna see what's up. Well, on the advice of one of the park rangers, we hiked down here to this little reservoir, hiked up here, I guess, that feeds the waterfall. And yeah, that's pretty awesome. You can just see the water flowing down the mountain and then into this little water tank, and then it goes back out and down towards that waterfall down there. And then there's definitely also a viewpoint I want to check out right up there. Made it up to this little viewpoint. You can see back down the canyon and out to Las Cruces over there. Pretty amazing. All right, so we just got back to the trailhead and we're now heading towards our next hike, which is going to be Fillmore Canyon. Should be another waterfall there. And you can see the whole city of Las Cruces from up here. It's pretty awesome. There's Oregon Needle up there. All right, hiking on a little trail that connects the trailhead we were at to the Fillmore Canyon trailhead. And there's just like a running creek right through here. Really cool. And we're in a forest. I mean, this is just such a cool mountain range. All right, so we took a slight detour off of the trail. Well, we're still on a trail, but off of the trail we were supposed to be on to get to this little cave. Which is really cool. Amazing views here. We're on the Fillmore Canyon trail now, so should be about a little less than a mile away from the next waterfall. All right, so we're almost at the end of the Fillmore Canyon trail and we're next to a flowing creek, so hopefully there's still a little bit of a waterfall up here. I think there should be. And this will be waterfall number 2 for the day, back in this beautiful canyon. I still just cannot get over how lush and green everything is here. It's crazy. Well, as expected, there's a ton of people here. Very popular area, especially now with the water flowing so much. But this is the end of Fillmore Canyon. There's the waterfall. And it is incredible. Really beautiful spot here. All right, so we're heading back from the Fillmore Canyon waterfall, getting those views down to Las Cruces again. And I think we'll be doing a different trail to connect back to the Dripping Springs trailhead. And then we're gonna go over to Soledad Canyon, which we're gonna have to drive to get to that trailhead. So we split off onto the Crawford Trail, and just this view we get of this whole mountain range from here is just crazy. All right, so back on the trail. This is the last one we're doing today. This is the Soledad Canyon Loop. And It's about 3.5 miles, and we'll go to another waterfall. And given that it's now like 11:30 and pretty hot, I'm kind of hoping there's a little bit of shade on this trail. All right, so we are getting pretty close to the waterfall at the end of Soledad Canyon. It's gonna be back in there, and my hopes of a shady trail have been dashed. This trail has absolutely no shade on it the entire time, at least thus far, and it is getting pretty hot. That sun is beating down, and I would say it's probably like in the mid 80s right now. Certainly not as hot as it could be this time of year, but definitely adds an extra level of challenge to this hike. All right, so we're getting into the canyon among these cool rock formations, and I can hear the waterfall from back here, and I'm really hoping that there's just a little bit of shade at the very end of this trail, but we'll see. This is just such a beautiful area, though. Severely underrated. I mean, it is very busy on these 3 trails because these are the 3 most popular trails in the park, but overall this area gets overlooked, and the Organ Mountains are very rugged, very beautiful, and very unique. All right, coming up on the 3rd and final waterfall of the day at the end of Soledad Canyon. And this one definitely looks like the biggest of the 3. There are a lot of people here, but still a really awesome spot. Beautiful. All right, we're heading back down the trail, getting this nice viewpoint down to Las Cruces, back to where the trailhead is. Only about a mile from here, I think, to get back to the trailhead. Not too bad. That's looking back into the canyon. And yeah, I would recommend, you know, obviously get out here and see these waterfalls before they're gone, because they will be gone now that the rain's kind of slowing down. But in the meantime, if you can, definitely hike these trails on a weekday. I've hiked a lot of hikes since I've been in El Paso here in, you know, southern New Mexico, and, you know, in West Texas, and this is definitely the most crowded hiking day I have had since living out here. Very reminiscent of you know, doing a hike in Colorado. But still really cool nonetheless. I mean, sometimes, you know, you're willing to deal with crowds to see stuff like this, and to have these waterfalls flowing like they are is a very rare occurrence, so definitely worth checking out. All right, so we are getting back to the Soledad Canyon trailhead. All said and done, we did about 10 miles today, and that is to see all 3 of the waterfalls, Dripping Springs, Fillmore Canyon, and Soledad Canyon. And then we also went to the little cave between the 2 trailheads for Dripping Springs and Fillmore Canyon. They just call it La Cueva. And yeah, really cool, really awesome hike today. Obviously pretty crowded, but that was to be expected. It is a Sunday and the weather's really nice. despite it being very hot. And so yeah, definitely expected there to be a lot of people. But yeah, not too bad in the elevation gain department. Probably only about 1,000 feet to do all 3 of those hikes. So this is definitely very manageable to do all 3 of these in one day if you want to see all 3 waterfalls. Just you know, come out here and you can hike the first 2 waterfalls without having to go back to your car. And then this third one, Soledad Canyon, is about a 15-minute drive from the Dripping Springs trailhead. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys soon for another hiking adventure.